Good morning. Welcome to another round of yoga to get fit for absolute beginners. If you're at the beginning of your fitness journey, you're not quite sure how to stick to it and what to do, here are my top tips. First of all, choose something you enjoy. So there's no point of pushing yourself, say, with running if this is something you really hate. My second tip is consistency. If you're doing it once a week, whatever you're choosing to do, like yoga or Pilates, etc., there's no really point because you're not building up the strength. So do it on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be every day, but at least 2 or 3 times a week. Make sure you have a rest day in between as well. And the other thing is stick to it. So how do you stick to it? Put it in your diary. Make time for it. Make it non-negotiable. Yeah. So whatever day or time you choose, it's there. This is what you're doing. If you're, for example, like me, and you love exercising in the morning, make sure everything is ready. You set an alarm. You get up. You don't even think about it, and you're doing it. And that's it. Yes, you have to enjoy it. You should do it because you love your body and not you want to punish your body for something you ate, for example. Yeah? So it should be fun, it should be regular, and it should be something you simply do. Okay, let's get started. You're in a seated position. So whichever seated position is comfortable for you, I'm going to choose cross-legged today. And then take your hands on the mat in front of you and walk your hands forward. Chest is lifted, holding here. And walk your hands over towards one side. Chest is still lifted, keep your back straight. And then over to the other side. You hopefully feel a little stretch in your side. And come back to the center. This time, if you can, you fold forward. Maybe walk your hands forward even more. You're rounding your back, holding here, and then come up. Walk your hands over to the other side, or one side, and then reach a little bit further maybe. You can round your back here. And now over to the other side. And then come back to the center. Walk your hands back, so sitting upright. Interlace your hands behind you. Straighten your arms out. And then maybe lift your arms up a little bit. Holding here. And release. Have your arms next to you. Fingertips are touching the mat. And then lift your shoulders up. And release. Take an inhale, lift. And exhale, release. One more inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Your right hand stays on the mat. Reach your left arm up and then come over to the side. So don't overdo it. Find some length in your left side. Holding here. And then over to the other side. So reach your right arm up and to the side. Watch what your head is doing. So don't bring your chin towards your chest or throw your head back. Keep it in a nice neutral position. Okay, and then release. Over to the first side again. So you're reaching up. Now, bend your right elbow backwards. We're going to thread the left hand through this little gap you've created here. So you're twisting, and threading through. So you may not get very far. I don't get very far, it doesn't matter. But hopefully you'll feel a bit of a stretch there in your spine. Nice twist. And then slowly come up to your side stretch and over to the other side. So reach up with your right arm and over. Now bend your left elbow backwards and then thread through. Holding here. So this should feel good, especially in the morning. You may be still a little bit stiff, or in the evening after a hard day's work. Okay, and then over to your first side. Okay. All right, so let's come into all fours. Place your hands on the mat underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Your knees are underneath the hips. Holding here. Press the floor away from you. And then collapse. And again, you press the floor away from you. And you're collapsing. So as you're collapsing, your shoulder blades move towards each other. And then press again. And you're collapsing. So do a few more like this. And next time you press the floor away from you, you hold there. Now, stick your bum out and then tuck your tailbone under. And again, you're sticking your bum out and you tuck your tailbone under. Keep going. So everything else stays still. Okay. And then find a neutral position. So you're neither sticking your bum out nor you're tucking under. Hold that. The floor is pressed away from you. Your shoulder blades move away from each other. Good. And then tuck your toes under. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. So lift your knees up, lift your hips up, and you're in your down dog. And then take your dog for a walk. So you're paddling your feet. Paddle and paddle and paddle. Keep going. And then release your heels down. Holding here. Have your knees slightly bent. Neck is relaxed. Fingers are spread. Arms are straight. Slowly walk your feet forward towards your hands. Your knees are bent. Holding here. You're in a relaxed forward fold. Make sure your fingertips can still reach the mat. And then slowly come rolling up into a standing position. So slowly, slowly roll up, up, up. And with the shoulders and head last. And arms come by your side. So we're going to do a half sun salutation. We're starting first with setting up our posture. So lift your 10 toes up, lower them down. Tailbone is long. Yeah? So you're neither sticking out your bum, nor you're tucking your tailbone under. You're in a neutral position. And holding here. Your ribs are together, as if you're wearing a corset. You find a bit more length of the crown of the head, so go a little bit taller. Your chin is parallel to the mat. And if you have the tendency to bring your chin forward, draw it back slightly. Have your shoulders relaxed, but the chest is lifted. Holding here. Your arms are straight. And then flip your palms so they're facing forward. Good. Engage your hands even. So your fingers are straight. Hold here. And then reach your arms up. Have your palms touching. Look up towards your thumbs. And then slowly, slowly you fold forward. First, keep your back straight as you fold forward. And then you start to bend your knees. And then you're releasing your fingertips on the mat. And dropping your head. So your head is heavy. So fingertips are on the mat. Your knees are bent. Your neck is relaxed. Back is round. Now we're going to straighten everything out. So start to lift the chest, lift your torso. Your hands will come off the mat. You can place them either on your thighs or on your shins, not onto the knees. Make sure your back is straight. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Suck your belly in. Your arms are straight as well. And now straighten out your legs. Move slowly, please. Holding here. So belly sucked in, back is straight. Chest is lifted, shoulders are away from the ears. Neck is long. Hold here. And then slowly fold forward again. You're rounding your back. Bending your knees. Relaxing your head. Fingertips on the mat again. And we're going to come up into standing position again. For that, keep your knees bent. You take your arms with you as you come up, and you're coming up with a straight back. So start to reach your arms forward, straighten your back, place your palms together, up, up, up. Look towards your thumbs, and then draw your palms down in front of your chest. And release your arms by your side. Good. Again, take your arms up. So we're going to speed it up a little bit. And then slowly fold forward. So first you keep your back straight. So take your arms down with you and then start to round your back when you can't keep your back straight anymore. You bend your knees and then you place your fingertips on the mat. If possible, have your fingertips in line with your toes. If that doesn't work for you quite yet, it doesn't matter, yeah? You can have them a little bit further forward. Now everything straightens out again. You lift the chest, you lengthen the spine, place your hands either onto your shins or onto your thighs. But be honest with yourself, have your back straight, the shoulders away from the ears. You're not rounding, chest is lifted, your neck is long. So you would look towards the top of the mat. Straighten out your legs, try not to lock your knees, so they don't straighten completely. Have a micro bend maybe. Hold here. And then slowly fold forward again and relax your head down. Fingertips on the mat. Now come up again. Take your arms with you over your head. Coming up with a straight back. Look towards your thumbs. And then draw your palms down in front of your chest. And release your arms by your side. Okay, so we'll do this a little bit faster and use the breathing. On an inhale, you raise your arms. Look up towards your thumbs. On an exhale, you fold forward and relax your head. Fingers on the mat. Take an inhale, lengthen, lift, everything straightens out. Shoulders away from the ears, neck is long. And exhale, fold forward again, relax your head down. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And exhale, Samasthiti. So draw your palms down and release your arms by your side. 2 more. Inhale, raise. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And exhale, Samasthiti. Release your arms. 1 more. Inhale, raise. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And exhale, Samasthiti here. Well done. Arms by your side. Now bring your feet hip distance apart. Have your toes turned in slightly. So hip distance, your hip bones, you're shooting down laser beams and you want to hit the center of your feet. All right? So your hips are not like that. They're more like that. About 2 fists between your feet. And often we walk like this with the toes turned out. So for the forward folds, make sure your toes are turned in slightly. Okay? Then have your hands onto your hips. Bend your knees. Have your back straight. Take an inhale. On your exhale, you fold forward. And once you can't keep your back straight anymore, you can relax. You can round your back. Get hold of your ankles. Holding here and maybe raise your hips a little bit higher. If possible, try and keep the connection between belly and thighs. Yeah. For some, it's impossible because the hamstrings are quite tight. Do your best. Okay, so hold here, relax your neck. So bend your knees for this as much as you need to. And maybe shift the weight forward. If this is a little bit scary, don't. You want to keep your balance. Holding here. All right, and then place your hands on your hips. Look forward and you're coming up, knees are bent and your back is straight. You're coming back up into standing position. We're going to go again. We'll make it a little bit harder. So have your knees bent. Take an inhale and exhale, fold forward. Good. So this time, if it's too much, you get hold of the ankles again or you take your arms behind your legs. You can take your wrist or your forearms. Now watch where your knees are pointing. Your knees don't want to touch. They want to keep the same distance as your feet. So knees and toes face in the same direction. Okay, maybe raise your hips a little bit higher and relax your neck. Holding here. Well, these standing forward folds are also great. If maybe you're having a bit of a headache, you're feeling stressed, they're quite relaxing and soothing. And they're also a bit like a natural facelift.
hold here. And then bend your knees a little bit more. Release your hands and we're rounding up. So roll up vertebra for vertebra with the shoulders and the head last. And then bring your arms by your side. Okay, so take your arms up towards the sky. Get hold of your left wrist. Bend your knees slightly so your feet are still hip distance apart. And then reach up and over to the side. Hold here. So you can straighten your legs, but don't lock them. And I know you can probably go down there. Don't. So stay up. So you want to reach up and to the side just a little bit. You feel a stretch in your side. That's enough. And then come up. Other side. Get hold of your wrist. Lengthen. And over to the other side. Holding here. Okay, so what's your posture here? Because you're not sticking out your bum or arching your back. And then come back to the center and release your arms by your side. Okay, so you are still with your feet hip distance apart. You're facing forward, yeah? I'm just moving around to give you the best angle. Interlace your hands behind you. Have your knees bent. Straighten out your arms. Maybe lift the chest a little bit. And see if you can fold forward and take your arms with you. So your hands are off your hips. And they stay off the hips if you can. As you take your forward fold. And then we're going to hang out here for a few inhales and exhales. So in yoga, we're always inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So if you feel you're starting to breathe through the mouth, become aware of it. Start to breathe through the nose again, or you can always take a break. And then slowly come up, up, up. And then release your arms. Okay, shake out your arms. Now turn to the side, just like me. Have your feet a little bit wider. Yeah? Extend your arms to the side. Now turn your right toes forward. Hold here. And then lengthen through the spine. Both legs are straight. Now you're reaching forward. You're hinging forward. Got it? And then you're coming up again. 2 more like this. So you're reaching forward, you're hinging forward, and you're coming up. Keep your legs straight. 1 more. You're reaching forward, and you're coming up. And then release your arms by your side for a moment. Bring your feet parallel to each other. Other side. So your front heel back in an arch on one line. So you're on a tightrope again. Extend your arms. Lengthen. And then reach your hinge. And come up. If you hear a little clicking noise in your hips, that's quite common. Nothing to worry about. And again, you're reaching forward and you're coming up. 1 more. You're reaching forward and you're coming up. And then release your arms by your side for a moment. Bring your feet parallel to each other. And turn your toes out and your heels in. Bend your knees sideways. Tailbone long. So imagine you're leaning against the wall behind you. And you're holding here in your goddess pose. Watch where your knees are pointing. They again want to point approximately in the same direction as your toes. So if they buckle in towards each other, push them out to the side. All right? Then interlace your hands. Reach your arms up. Flip your palms so they're facing towards the sky. And then reach through your sides. Holding here. So this is a strength exercise. Okay? If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can. And then straighten out your legs and release your arms. Bring your feet parallel to each other again. And then turn your right toes forward. Front heel back in an arch on one line. Again, extend your arms sideways. Remember, yeah, we were hinging earlier. We're going to do that and take it a bit further. So lengthen. Then you reach your hinge. And you swivel your arms down. Hold here. So try not to round forward. See that your arms create one straight line. So if you want to throw your top arm behind you, don't. Rein it in. Holding here. Okay, you can keep your head in neutral position for now. And then come up. Let's give it another go. So you lengthen. you hinge, you reach forward as far as you can. Nothing else moves, only the arms. And you're holding here. See that both legs are straight. If you're a bit hypermobile, you may want to have a micro bend in your front knee. Holding here, reaching up through the fingertips, and this time, I can't quite look up, there's the sun. You're looking towards your hand, your top hand. If you do that, make sure your forehead is higher than your chin. So you're not dropping your head in a funny way. Right? If this hurts your neck, keep your head in a neutral position. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you here much longer. Looking down, come up and release your arms by your side for a moment. Pivot your feet around to the other side. Extend your arms. Both legs are straight. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. And then swivel your arms. And you're holding here. Keep your head in neutral. Your arms are one straight line. Yeah. So I quite often observe that the top arm wants to go back. Don't. You want to have your ribs together, and it should feel nice. So you're neither sticking out your bum nor arching your back. Holding here, and then look down and come up. Let's give it another go. Lengthen, hinge, you reach forward. Nothing else moves, only the arms. Hold here, and then give it a go to look up towards your top arm. And remember, your forehead is higher than your chin. So imagine you're squeezed between two panes of glass. So not rounding, you're straight with the back, holding here. And then look down, come up, and release your arms by your side. Bring your feet parallel to each other. Place your hands into your hips, and we'll come into a forward fold. So you can bend your knees for this one, and then fold forward, and let your hands slide down alongside your legs and get hold of whatever is available. And you can round your back then. Hold here. And then slowly, slowly come up. So you can roll up. Bring your feet next to each other. Okay, so there's always a little cardio round. You want to get the heart rate up. So especially if you're on a mission, maybe not to get fit, but also to lose weight, to make the heart stronger. It's good to throw that in a little bit. Yeah. So it will only be a short burst of cardio, and you decide how fast you want to go. So what we're going to do is we bend the knees, keep the chest lifted, and then you're coming up and you're raising one leg up. And then place the foot down, you bend the knees again, and then the other leg comes up. And then you bend, and first side again. Yeah, you can stay slow or you can speed it up if you're ready to do so. And keep going. So don't push too hard. Maybe wait until you're ready to go a little bit faster. Okay, let's do a few more rounds here. So my heart rate is up. Okay, and then one more round and release. Well done. So let's do a little balancing pose. So have your feet approximately hip distance, doesn't matter. Extend your arms sideways and then bend your right leg. Start to shift the weight into the right leg. And maybe raise your left leg up. You're simply holding here. And release, other side. So bend your left leg. So you're tilting over towards the left, raising the right leg up. Hold here. And release. And then bring your arms next to you again. Okay, so come facing forward again. Another little balancing, but it's also beneficial for our glute muscles. So bend your right leg, tap your left toes behind you. Keep your toes on the mat. Have your arms by your side, and your right leg stays bent as you slowly start to tip forward with the torso. Yeah, you can have your back toes still on the mat for balance. And then you're coming up again. Keep your front leg bent. And again, so you're tilting forward. And you're coming up. 3 more like this. Tilt forward. Remember, your right leg is bent slightly. And come up. 2 more. Tilt forward. And come up. 1 more. And come up and release. Yeah, could you feel it in your glutes? I did. Other side. Shift the weight into your left leg. Have your left knee bent. Take the right toes behind you. Your arms are heavy by your side. And you start to tilt forward with the torso. And you're coming up. And again. Come forward. And up. 3 more. So your back toes stay on the mat for additional balance. It's still hard. 2 more. Remember, front knee stays bent. Do not lock, because then you're switching off your glutes again. And 1 more. Coming up. And then place your feet next to each other. Bring your chin towards your chest. Suck your belly in. And then slowly, slowly round your back as you come into your forward fold. And bend your knees. Step back into downward facing dog. And in your down dog, you pedal your feet, have your fingers spread, and release your heels down. Let's just stay here for a little bit. So if you're starting out with yoga, your one body part that quite often hurts at the beginning is the wrists. So that's quite normal, it's quite natural. We hardly do any weight bearing on the hands. So just stay with it, it will get better, I promise. Okay, now come forward into a plank pose and place your knees onto the mat. Your inward force again. And then bring your knees behind you a little bit. Good. So your shoulders are above the wrist and you're simply holding here. So this is an easier version of the plank, and then observe what your body is doing. If you're throwing your head back or dropping your head, lift it up. So your neck is nice and long. Now press the floor away from you. Remember, we practiced that at the beginning of the class, so you're not collapsing into the sternum. Your shoulder blades, they do move away from each other. You're holding that. Observe what your bum is doing. If you're sticking out your bum, root your tailbone down a little bit, yeah, but without tucking. So you find your nice neutral position again. And this should get quite hard now. So I'm going to release you shortly. Okay, we're going to lay down on the belly. So this is quite hard to lower down with control. Give it your best. So bend the elbows, bend them backwards if possible. Lower down, and then you're on your belly. Have your arms by your side. Lift your torso up. Reach your fingertips towards your feet. And you're holding here. Neck stays long. Your glutes are engaged. And breathe for 3 more. 2. And 1. Slowly lower down. Make a pillow with your hands and roll your hips from side to side a few times. Good. Sphinx pose. So for Sphinx pose, your elbows come underneath the shoulders onto the mat. Your forearms are on the mat and they are parallel to each other. Yeah? So your shoulders and your elbows are stacked on top of each other. Your forearms are parallel to each other, palms facing down. Fingers are spread. Relax your belly down towards the mat and look forward. See how your back feels about that. So it's a bit of a back bend. And then start to suck your belly in, squeeze your bum, and look towards your thumbs. So lifting your belly off the mat a little bit maybe. Holding that. Press the floor away from you. Holding here. And then release your belly down again towards the mat. Look forward slightly. But neck stays long. And again, you're sucking your belly in. You're rounding the back. Now you can stay here, or if you want a little challenge, your knees stay on the mat, but you lift your belly, your thighs, your hips up. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, and then slowly lower down. Well done. Place your hands next to the chest, press yourself up, and then come into a child's pose. So your knees are either together or apart, so you have to find your personal preference. Your hips come towards the heels, and then you're folding forward. So not everyone can place the hips on the heels as a little hap. You can maybe have a blanket between the hips and the heels. That otherwise causes you discomfort. And then you're relaxing down, so forehead on the mat. And lift your head up again. So come into your downward facing dog. One more time. We do have to strengthen our wrists. Pedal your feet, and then release the heels down. So downward facing dog. It's such a lovely pose. It's the pose in yoga. Can you feel the stretch of your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your back, your sides, your shoulders? And then slowly lower down your knees again. So in all fours and swing your legs around. Place your feet flat on the mat. Extend your arms forward. Take an inhale and exhale slowly, slowly. Lower down all the way. Arms are by your side. Bring your feet a little bit closer towards you. So pressing your feet down, and then tuck your tailbone under. Raise your hips, lower back, middle back, and upper back up. And then slowly lower down again. Vertebra for vertebra, and release. So in everything we're doing, please take your time, don't rush. And again, yes, you tuck your tailbone under, raise your hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, and slowly lower down again. And keep going. So you want to become aware of your body. You want to feel your body, you want to feel every stretch. You want to feel when you have to slow down and maybe back off even. Move slowly and mindfully. So yoga is a mindful practice in mindfulness. Okay. So next time you're down, you stay down. Bring your right knee into the chest. Holding here, so really pull it as close as you can. And release. Other side. So left knee, pull it into the chest. And release. So both feet are flat on the mat. And move your feet a little bit further away from you. And drop your knees to opposite sides. And the soles of your feet are touching. Okay? You're holding here. If this is uncomfortable, you lift the knees up again. We're going to do a little bit of core. Your hands are interlaced behind your head. Lift your head up, holding here. And we're going to rotate. So it's a small, small movement. So take an inhale. On your exhale, you're gently rotating, you're twisting towards the right. Inhale back to the center. And exhale towards the other side. Inhale back to the center and exhale. So small movement, very small movement. Move slowly. And if this doesn't work for you with the legs like this, you bring your knees up. Okay, let's only do one more round. And then release your head down. Extend your arms up towards the sky. Interlace your hands. And have your index fingers facing up. So your index fingers are straight. Lift your head, lift your shoulders up to a hover. And then on an exhale, you lift it a little bit higher. Inhale, lower down to hover. And exhale. So again, we're not doing many of those. Move slowly. Only 2 more. And one more. And then release down. Good. Bring your knees together. Hug your knees into your chest, both of them, and roll from side to side a few times. Okay. Bring your legs into tabletop position. So support your legs for a moment. Your lower back wants to be on the mat. Your knees are approximately above your hips. They can come a little bit closer. Yeah, if otherwise you're arching your back. And you have a 90-degree angle behind your knees. Place your hands next to you on the mat, holding here. So maintain the 90-degree angle behind your knees. Take an inhale. On your exhale, you're tapping your right toes towards the mat. They don't have to touch. Inhale, you bring the leg up again. Other side. On an exhale, you're tapping your left toes down, and inhale, bringing them up. And you keep going. So exhale, you tap. Inhale, you lift. So I don't know if you can see me right now, but I'm not even touching the mat. You will still feel something. And please, please, again, move slowly. I so often see it, how people start to speed up. But move slowly. Hey, you want to feel. You feel it? I can feel it in my core. Okay. So if you're not tapping, you can continue doing that, or maybe give it a go. So you're really tapping your toes down. Okay. And we're going to do one more round. So finish with the left leg. And then bring both of your knees into your chest and roll from side to side. Place your left foot on the mat, extend your right leg up, get hold of your thigh, and then gently pull the leg towards you. And then bend your knee, bring your knee towards your armpit, and then pull it down towards the armpit. And then release. Place your foot on the mat. Left knee comes onto the chest. Place your hands behind your thighs, straighten the leg out as much as you can, and pull the leg towards you. And then bend the knee and bring the knee towards the chest and then towards the armpit. Really pull it as close as you can. And release. Have your feet and knees together. Move your arms out of the way. And then drop your knees over towards the right. So in a twist. Keep your shoulders grounded. And bring your knees up again. And over to the other side. And bring your knees up again. Good. Bring both of your knees towards the chest, then towards the armpit, and then pull. Pull them really as close as you can towards the armpit. Holding here. And release. Okay, we're going to come into a seated position again. So roll over to the side, press yourself up, and you are sitting down. Okay, so let's practice a few ways to sit. So there's cross-legged. If you have the feeling your knees are too high or this causes you discomfort, at the beginning you can always sit on something to give you a little bit of extra height. So if you're sitting in a chair a lot, my homework will be to sit on the floor instead for as often as you can. Yeah, so sitting in a cross-legged position, that's one way to sit. The other way is you have one leg like in a cross-legged position, and the other foot is on the mat. Give that a go. You're sitting up tall, you can hug that knee. And to not be lopsided, let's switch around. And again, you're hugging the knee and you're sitting tall. And release. Then bend both knees and bring your heels towards your hips. And then again, you hug your knees, you may be rounded like me now, and then see if you can sit tall. So this is a preparation for squatting. So if you're happy in a squat, you can also come into a squat now. But this is a video for absolute beginners, so I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to push you too hard. So this is a good preparation, yeah? Okay, and release. One other way is to kneel. If kneeling isn't for you, you can stay in your cross-legged position. Okay? However, if kneeling is okay, do it. Come into a kneeling position, and we'll do some simple exercises here. Interlace your hands, extend your arms forward, and then round your back and pull your arms away from you. Move your chin towards the chest, suck your belly in. Hold here. And then slowly come up. Release your arms for a moment. Take your arms up towards the sky, reaching, holding here, and then draw some circles with the arms. So your shoulders will move, maybe part of your torso will move. Yeah, so you can do some fantasy movements here. And then go in the other direction. So again, this is all spine mobilization and shoulder mobilization as well. And release. Well done. Okay, I would like to do a little breathing exercise with you. For that, you place your hands onto your lower ribs. So if kneeling now becomes excruciating, move back into another position. So have your props there, have a cushion or anything else that feels good. Place your hands onto your lower ribs. You can even lay down for this one if you prefer. And take a deep inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale nose. And exhale mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. And then hold your breath out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Hold your breath out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. And exhale. And slow down your breathing. Place your hands onto your thighs. Sit in stillness and check in with your body. How's your body feeling now? I hope your body's feeling a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more gentle, not gentle, subtle, more flexible. And place your palms together in front of your heart. Send some loving vibes to your body. Rub your palms. Cover your eyes. Forehead. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And release. Open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time. Namaste.